the nonsensical ramblings of two fat old middle-aged men.
Where?
Let's pretend your wife's not listening. How much is that of interest?
I think that was about that. I think that was about that price. I think that's exactly what it was meant to be paid for that one. I think I checked and it was correct. So it was exactly as you'd imagine it to be. So I think it was brilliant.
600 million.
That's right.
600 million people can't be wrong.
I've got my Ferrari outside. It tells me that this podcast is a success.
It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
Welcome along to episode 2.
What?
Season 3.
It's flying by.
Of the Bring Back the 80s podcast. Andy here, James there.
Hello.
And it's another chocolate-tastic episode.
Oh, I'm gaining weight just talking about this stuff.
We were just talking before the podcast at the moment. And as you might know, James is an avid collector of just any 80s shit. And you were saying...
You talking to my wife again?
You were telling me the prices that some of these used sweetie wrappers go for.
Well, I mean, I stumbled across a collection that someone's obviously found at the back of a newsagent once, and it was quite a good deal. But then I thought, I quite liked a Lion Bar. In the 80s, I thought I was quite nouveau something, because I'd quite liked the Lion Bar. I thought it was a bit different, isn't it? And I thought, I'll actually go for a Lion Bar wrapper. I'll try and find one of them. 10 quid it went for. I thought, fuck, I'm an idiot, but I'm not a big idiot. Right? Someone else could have a bloody Lion Bar wrapper. We didn't have the chocolate in it. So, I thought, no, I'm not going to bother with that. It's... I do love 80s and I do love chocolate.
But so you're not mental.
This is perfect. I'm not mental. Not me. What's wrong with you?
I just am astonished at how much people will pay for empty wrappers. But
it just brings the memories coming back. It's a bit like it's like people wasting their time listening to this. It just brings their memories flooding back, doesn't it? So they don't need to worry. I'm just getting something out. That's out. I'm ready. Yeah. Do not throw.
It's actually got written on it. Do not throw.
Well, I leave something. You know what it's like. You leave something in your house for more than 3 seconds. It's in the bin. You're like, where's that gone? That's the dog.
Isn't it strange that your priceless artifacts could be mistaken for just rubbish, James?
Yeah. This is the thing. This is why people are selling it on eBay going, some twat's bought this. Brilliant. Who is it? James Alderson. I don't know. I keep buying this crap.
You're on a list now, James. Where you'll get targeted by personalised adverts. Yeah. And that you are the one that's getting all this. You're on a list.
I keep finding stuff on eBay. It's amazing. Yeah. It's because they know I'm out there watching it. They go, let's put it up quick.
Oh dear. Right, in this episode we're going to give you a little reminder of the mystery sound. It's that TV show from the 80s that your mum and dad would have watched more than you would have watched, but like you say earlier, you would have heard it wafting up the stairs from downstairs. It'd be one of those things that you think, well, what's this? Yeah. What's the point of this? But
you could smell probably the Ovaltine at the same time.
Your mum and dad would be watching it, so that's coming up a little bit later. But should we go straight into our first iconic 80s adverts?
Okay.
We've been searching for hours, Sergeant. I'm getting peckish.
There, sir. It's fast.
Only something pretty substantial could have caused that.
Star Bar. It's new, sir.
Crushed roasted peanuts fused with chewy toffee covered in rich milk chocolate.
Certainly sounds substantial, sir.
Delicious. This could only be from another planet.
It says Cadbury's on the wrapper, sir.
New Cadbury's Star Bar. It could be the end of hunger between meals as we know it.
Star Bar.
Yeah,
I went through a phase of loving those.
You see, I don't really remember them hugely. I'm not a peanut fan in things. I like them on their own. Bit of a simple guy, Andy. But I think they had a bit of a relaunch in the 90s, and I discovered Biscuit Boosts, which are like a biscuit version of a Star Bar. Yes. I've got the wrapper, obviously.
Of course.
Of course I have. I'm not an idiot. Or am. And, it's milk chocolate and vegetable fat. I think they got something missing on the ingredients here, because that's literally what it says.
Is that what it says?
I think it's got peanuts and toffee in it.
It's got to have something in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, because the idea is it's got peanuts and toffee in it. And in the ingredients, milk chocolate, milk solids, and vegetable fat. So That's
How strange.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I remember them being chewy. I do remember them being chewy.
Yeah. I mean, they had toffee and peanuts and nugget, some caramel and chocolate probably. And funnily enough, I've got this wrapper and I thought, well, I don't know what a bloody Star Bar is. And I went to the shop today to get the chocolates that we're talking about. And there was a Star Bar on the shelf. I haven't seen bloody Star Bar for ages. So it's obviously still a thing. And people will probably comment now going, I love a bloody Star Bar. But was it a bit like a Topic?
Not even slightly.
No, what's a Topic then?
A Topic had different nuts in it, didn't it?
Didn't have peanuts in?
Topic was hazelnuts.
Oh.
That was the
what's got peanuts in then? Is there another one that's got peanuts in? There must be a chocolate bar that's got peanuts in.
Milk chocolate with peanuts and toffee centre in this one. I think the peanut was the nut of choice for most things, but I think the Topic thing was definitely the fact that it was hazelnuts rather than
Picnic.
Picnic? Oh, I don't know.
Biscuit.
Picnic. I'm not as.
No.
The memory's not. The trouble is, James, it's further back for me than it is for you.
You're right. It's bloody ages, isn't it? Star Bar, good one. Around the same time as a Boost, I think. Original adverts appealing to the kids, of course. Wasn't seductive, that one.
Not even slightly.
None of those blokes were sucking on the end of it. But they were in a big chopper.
Yes.
So that's the most important thing. Yeah. Let's make it masculine. Let's put a bloody army airplane or aircraft or something in there to get boys watching, and something about aliens in there.
I wonder how they come up with the concepts for these different chocolate bars, and what is it that makes one work amazingly and still be here after all these years?
Oh yeah,
and the ones that just have disappeared.
Just knowing their demographic is definitely key, because the crunchies, Crunchy It's Friday and the craziness of Crunchy. If you think about it, it isn't actually that crunchy or crazy.
It more gets stuck in your teeth, isn't
sticky.
It? Yeah.
No, but I mean, obviously it's a crunchy bar, but it's not a goofy, crazy, ridiculous idea. It's not really much of a chocolate bar. It's just a stick of bloody whatever it is.
Sugar in
Cinder
it.
Toffee shit. These are a bit like Cinder Toffee, but and just wrapped in chocolate. And they decided that it was going to be Crunchy It's Friday and go absolutely crazy for crunchies, and they've nailed it, didn't they? And that's all everybody thinks.
Advertising has worked, James.
Yeah, they've really done the research. They know what it's all about. And then the Star Bar, they knew that they had to get a guy who looked like Inspector Gadget, sat with some goofy pilot in a chopper looking at a dent in the ground.
Yeah.
Like, what's that got to do with it? I suppose it's because it's a star. Maybe it's from space.
I think the shape of the inside of the Star Bar. I do remember them, and I was going to say I would go through phases of eating them.
Yeah,
I think the reason why that fell out of favour with me, I liked a chocolate bar that you could deconstruct as you ate it.
We all love that.
I would like to peel off one layer and eat
I still do that with a Twix.
Yeah, Twix is the perfect one, isn't it? Yeah.
I look all right bellend in a traffic queue, nibbling the top of it like a weird rabbit. My wife eats
You'll be like the guy who eats the Kit Kat, just like you just eat all four fingers at once.
No, don't do that. That's ridiculous. But my wife eats it the opposite way to me. I eat the toffee off of it and the side chocolate all around the biscuit, the shortbread biscuit on a Twix. But she eats everything else and leaves the toffee at the end.
So this obviously you always leave to the end the best bit. So for her, it's obviously
But I like the toffee.
Yeah.
But I don't want it flopping around in the car. That's dangerous, isn't it? You're doing 70 miles an hour with a floppy bit of caramel in your hand. That's lethal.
Only on a cold. Maybe to save that for cold days where it'd be a little bit more brittle, James.
Yeah, don't put your chocolate in the fridge. You psychos. What's wrong with you? I've got the mint club wrapper I was looking for, and it says new on it, so I think this must be 80
because we had
81.
The advert was for orange. We're all different sort of
this has got flavours. A little some leaves of mint there, so that you know what mint is.
Looks like cannabis.
Yeah, so that's new.
So I would imagine.
Yeah, if it was, if it was around and we could ever seen it before.
Yeah.
But I think that that was obviously a new one. I think mint was new. I don't think it came out with all the others. And they started chucking mint in everything, didn't they?
I'm not a mint fan when it comes to chocolate. Mint, mint. The only thing that mint should be in is mint sauce for roast lamb.
Yeah.
Mint in ice cream. No. Mint in chocolate. No. Mint tea. No.
No, not mint tea. But if someone said to me, "I've got some chocolate," and they go, "What have you got?" and they go, "I've only got a mint aero," I'll be like, "All right then," or "I've only got an After Eight," or something like that. Okay. If if they said, do you want an after 8 or an orange, I'll say I'll have after 8. but if they said I've got normal or mint, I'll say I'll have a normal, please. But yeah, the chucking mint in, it does complement it, I think, but it's not as a preference. I don't think anybody really goes out of their way to get a mint something or other, do they?
I don't think so, no.
Do they?
I don't think so.
Answers on a postcard?
What were the other ones? Because they did the orange, they did the mint, Did they do? Am I imagining this? Did they do like a coffee flavoured one?
I don't know.
I'm imagining.
Well, they did a plain one.
Yeah, a plain
mint
one.
and orange and plain, and I think there was another one.
Yeah.
Anyway, win a T-shirt.
Somebody's telling me coffee, but it could just be an imagined.
No, I don't
thing.
think it's coffee. What else could have been? It wouldn't have been banana. It wouldn't have been strawberry. Apple. No. Okay. Well, we've come to a cul-de-sac on that bit.
We have indeed.
We don't know. We just don't know.
But if you know, let us know in the comments.
They probably still do it because they're still big sellers. The Club Biscuit. They're out there in multi-packs for kids' pack lunches. So they probably still do the flavour that we've forgotten.
And they still have the last time I had one, which wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Still the right amount of chocolate on them as well.
Yeah, still great. Still lovely.
Still good.
Yeah.
Let's do a little reminder of the mystery sound now.
It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
And just by way of a change, we're going with almost forgotten 80s TV things. It's that little bit at the end.
Yeah.
That little bit at the end.
Someone just whacking their maracas.
Yeah. Or is it castanets?
Oh, castanets.
Could be.
Yes. Could be.
If you know what that is, it was at the time, it was a very popular 80s sitcom. Your mum and dad would have liked it. Probably not the sort of thing that we would have been talking about at school the next day.
A bit of a clue there.
But
a clue for Andy.
It would have been on. Let us know what it is in the comments. Out of all the correct answers, we will do a draw and we will let you know if you are the winner on the next episode.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So in the comments, it's the best way to do it. You're welcome to because obviously once somebody puts one answer down, everybody could copy it, but bear in mind somebody might be
way off,
throwing you off on a tangent there.
Yeah, it's not game for a laugh, is it?
Definitely not.
Just imagine that starting that up with a little bit of romance in there.
It's not Tycoon's. I'll give you another clue. It's not Challenge Annika.
God dear.
Definitely not Challenge
Hang
Annika.
about. I'm starting to think now again. I'm drifting off. Back to the Flake advert.
Can somebody tell me about Challenge Annika? Because they brought that back, didn't they? For a one-off special. How come she's not changed? She's got old and fat like all the rest of us.
I know. Her bum's not changed.
How can that be a thing? How can that be a thing?
Oh, it is a thing. I don't know really. I mean, she's still the same, and she's still jolly and smiley, and everything's in the helicopter perfectly.
Yeah, it's like Michaela Strachan. She was on the telly back in the 80s. You look at her now; she's exactly the same as she was back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You look at pictures of us from the 1980s.
We're exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, Rolf Harris, exactly the same. Gary Glitter, exactly the same. Any 80s TV presenter, exactly the same, except they now live in prison. Yeah.
No, they get to listen to podcasting, but they allowed podcasts. So
no. Hi, Gary.
I think he's in our parish, isn't he?
He was.
He's not a million miles away from us.
No, he breached his conditions, so he went back in. But yes, anyway, so good. Yeah, I mean, talking of which, finger of fudge.
Seamless.
I've got an old rapper here you'll be surprised to know.
James, how did you know what you never cease to surprise
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
How much was that, just out of interest?
Oh, it's probably 50p or a quid. These are to a penny, aren't they, mate? But are they? Who knows? It's so have we got the size on here? I don't. But keep your country tidy. Do you remember that when they put that on the wrappers?
Yes.
They stopped putting it on wrappers now, and look at the state of the place. And store in a cool, dry place. Best before April '87. All right, 12 pence.
Oh, so even more expensive than the was it the flake I was guessing at?
Yeah, I think this is that was early
Possibly,
80s. I think, and obviously what we haven't got on it is your calories. You don't have the calories on the old one.
I'm guessing 98 calories.
98 on the button.
Oh,
yeah,
look at
yeah.
that. So it's never 100, is it? So
no.
it's just under.
Oh no, they've got the little picture on there of the man throwing it in the rubbish bin, and it's suitable for vegetarians. That's fair trade, of course. But here we are, 40 years later. I don't know. I think it's probably
not too
similar.
bad.
What do you think?
Fairly similar in size, isn't it? We would never have gone as a child. It would have never have occurred to us to go in and buy a finger of fudge, and I think we were all sold on the idea off the back of the TV advertising.
Look at the Fiesta. Oh.
A finger of fudge.
Look at the size of that.
Enough to give your kids a treat. A Cadbury's fudge is just enough until it's time to eat. It's full of Cadbury goods. It's a very small and neat. A finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat.
What's his name?
Where's he from? The guy who sang that? He didn't sound English, did he? A finger of fudge.
He came from the same school as the Blinky Blimey. Any London actor.
He was trying his best.
Always had to have that same.
They've obviously picked a St Paul's Cathedral choir boy to do it and said, "You're going to have to London this up, mate. You can't be singing a finger of fudge is just a finger of fudge." He couldn't even bloody speak. Anyway, yeah. And did you see the size of the fudges in that bloody basket?
They were big fingers, weren't they?
Yes.
Big fingers.
Yeah. Maybe it's what she prefers, but this is tiny, and they still are, and that's in the from a multi-pack. And I think you're right. I mean, the thing is, back in the 80s, if you were given 10 pence, it was a curly whirly usually for me. This is a dog, if you can hear it in the background, by the way. It's not a random advert for some sort of pedigree chum that we've gone into the wrong episode on. But fudges were bigger. And I mean, I seem to remember them in the earlies being 5 pence.
I think you're right, actually, yeah.
So obviously this is 87. So a bit of inflation happening here. Only 12p, it still says. But I forgot how orangey they were. Because obviously they've gone for a bit more of a, I don't know.
It's going to pop on the shelf.
But that is really sharp.
Yeah.
And it's very similar font. Do you want to have a nibble?
Yes.
Yeah, come on, mate.
I'm never going to say no to a nibble, James.
No.
See, the thing
is, to get someone in to help you with that.
They've made it. Yeah. They've always made them more difficult to get into.
Diet fudge.
Right, I'm getting in.
Oh, you've done well. I like the way you've done that. Like a little lipstick, yeah.
No, it's not got the.
Let's have a look.
Oh, come on.
That did seem a bit odd. That's a bit soft.
That's wrong inside. I was expecting it to be.
Oh.
I was expecting it to be a pull-up, like a bit of stringy cheese.
Well, fudge was never quite as stringy as like a curly whirly, but it definitely had a bit of resistance. That's very powdery, isn't it?
It looks like a sponge cake inside. Obviously, it's not. That has changed. They were definitely chewier.
Yeah.
100%.
But it does taste the same, but it's softer. Health and safety, you see, mate. Got to be careful. Don't want anyone to lose their teeth.
That's changed. I'm sorry, I'm not in favour.
Tastes the same though, doesn't it?
Similar, but it's not got the same.
Not got the resistance.
It's not got the same. I was expecting when I broke it, I thought it was going to string.
I don't think they ever did that.
They did. I'm sure they did.
I mean, curly whirlies definitely did, and you'd hurt someone with it and garrot them with it. But fudge had definitely more resistance than that. Always a bit fudgy, but that was just very powdery in there.
I mean, it's okay. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give it a 6.
I'll probably give it a 6.5.
But so you can't. Nothing stays the same forever, James. So otherwise there'd be no point to this podcast,
wouldn't there?
No point.
Some people say there still is.
600 million views.
That's right.
600 million people can't be wrong.
I got my Ferrari outside. It tells me that this podcast is a success.
One day, James, but in the year 3000, we'll be looking back. Our clones will just be our heads talking. We'll be glass jars connected.
There'll be AI trying to make sense of this.
Yeah, trying to get, but we'll be there. Our clones will be driving the Ferraris. Speaking of which, by the way, if you can share this podcast with one other person. The nonsensical ramblings of two fat old middle-aged men.
Where?
Harking back to the days where there was no political correctness.
Well, very little.
Nothing was going on.
Yeah.
Nothing was. Do you know what? The subject of political correctness.
Oh, God.
You can't say anything. You can't say anything now. I got into trouble at work. I got a proper job.
Yeah.
I've got into on the radio.
Yeah.
I said. Just a throwaway comment. I said, back in the days when everybody had a mum and a dad.
Oh shit!
Somebody Somebody didn't like that.
No.
It was escalated up the chain.
Yeah.
Escalated.
What did you have to do? Edit it
I
out?
just had to make sure that I never say that again. Oh!
Well, not everybody had a mum and a dad, you see.
No, that's the thing.
Some people just had mums.
Yeah, like you, James.
And dads.
Have I offended you?
I'm leaving. I mean, some people have two mums and two dads.
But they do. I'm not saying it. I didn't say it as a bad. I'm not saying, that was how it should be.
No.
I'm just saying, in those days, most kids at school would have a mum who stayed at home, took the kids to school, tidied the house, drank gin.
Yep.
And the dad would be hard at work, come back to his dinner on the table.
Please, thank you.
That was how the family was.
But what we didn't know is the dad, when he was at work, was shagging the stationery boy because he wished he wasn't in a heterosexual marriage, but he had to keep it in a heterosexual marriage because it's the 80s and he had to keep it inside unless he was shagging someone on the side, and it sometimes wasn't the opposite sex. And that was the difference. In the 80s, so many people were repressed. The mum was probably having it off with the housewife next door or something and she wished she wasn't married to a man, probably wish she hadn't had kids, but there's such expectation to be 2.4 kids and a dog. Not even a dog. Not many people had dogs. Shit me. If you don't have a dog in my street, you're weird. But back then, if you had a dog, you were the odd one, Barbara Woodhouse freak. But mum, dad, 2 kids, ideally a girl and a boy, and a nice semi-detached with a garage and a Fiesta with a slope front on the front, please, and a nice lawn with some roses.
That was the way it was. I'm not saying that's how it should be.
Oh, you said it. I'm sorry, Andy.
I'm not saying that's how it should be. I'm saying that's how it was.
I know, and the expectation and the pressure on society for people to be like that. And now it doesn't matter, as it tells me whenever I go in to buy a bloody greeting card. It's to my mums and to my dads.
I like that though. I'm in favour.
I think it's bloody brilliant because you don't want to have to put the S on yourself.
No.
And so now they're printing. But can I find one that says to my mum? Can I bollocks? There's just lots of accidentally bought one year to someone who feels like a mum to me. I was like, oh no, that's not right. She is my mum, that's why. But it's it's
a minefield, James. That's what it is. It's a minefield.
But it's good that it covers everybody's situation in life.
Exactly.
Because very few people have a life the same.
No, exactly. And long.
Did we cover that?
No, I think we covered that. I think
Andy.
we dug. I dug that hole, but
I filled it in.
You filled it in for us, James. So well done. But the point I was trying to make is you can't. Then you could say anything.
Yeah.
And if somebody was offended, they'd have to be bloody offended to write a letter.
Point of view.
Go and get a stamp and take it to the post box.
Oh yes.
Whereas now, it's just.
Yeah, and I think that's what's making us learn quickly. Because you start typing something on Facebook, no, delete that quickly, because you think, no, actually, is that right? What I've said, is that actually right?
Yeah.
And could it possibly upset somebody? And in the 80s, it didn't matter what you said because you just said it. Like we said about the inappropriate jokes, back in the 80s about all the disasters. You just said it, and by the end of the day, the whole of the country was saying it.
Yeah.
But nobody knew who started it. But these days,
nobody could be blamed.
No,
nobody
and you couldn't
be blamed.
dig back 7 years or 18 years or 33 years to who said it first. And now they go back to your first ever tweet and you're cancelled. So I don't ever tweet any jokes. That's why if you go onto my Twitter page, it's nothing funny. All right, that's the reason, because it'll all be
a bit like your shows.
Yeah, it's not worth risking it. Just not worth it.
Play it straight.
Be safe and just don't be funny. That's my rule.
No, this has been our final podcast. Short season of 2.
Yeah, when we hit the funny, we'll be cancelled. You wait.
I think we got time for one more. One more.
Have we got room for one more?
I think bloated. Here we go with
it's the gluten.
Is it the gluten or is it the nuts?
Or the lactose?
It could be.
Sure. We can't say that, Andy.
I'm not. I'll tell you what. I'm intolerant, but not in a bad way.
Okay.
That's it.
That's good.
Yes, here we go. Right, next one.
Got him. Oh, okay.
James's special lunchbox surprise.
Have a little fiddle in my box and see what you can find out in there, because this is something. Well, I don't think necessarily the product has changed.
I'm liking the shape of the packaging.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm liking the shape of the packaging. Okay.
But it's Smarties, right?
Yes.
Now, I've done some research before the show. I think they have changed, the Smarties. The taste hasn't, but the they have the shell. I'll pop it open, but also you're not taking off a lid. You notice it's
there was but that's because the little lids used to be plastic
with a letter on.
Oh yes,
and that's why there's so much dyslexia around now. I know, I don't know why, but you used to be able to spell words out. You can't get the fucking look. You see that? They've got a hole. Why don't just leave the bloody thing open, mate?
To make you eat less of them.
What, one at a time?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. You can't even get one out. But look, they're not as bold in colours, are they?
Not allowed to eat numbers anymore.
You see what it says on the side? I'm paper. Like we're stupid.
Made of paper.
I know it's paper, mate. That's because it's paper.
Not the same.
They've got a sort of a hollow.
They're not as chocolatey inside.
And not as flavoursome. The orange ones were always had a flavour. Let's see if I can get an orange one. Oh no. Oh, I'm getting every other colour. Oh dear.
Do you remember when they first brought out blue ones?
Yeah, hold that.
And they actually had a TV campaign because blue things had never been invented before.
It's funny you should say that. Andy?
Blue. I'll say they're not the same, but I'm still scoffing them away.
Special edition with blue Smarties. Now, listen, stop it. This is I've just dropped a blue Smartie. This is an original. It is from 1989 with blue Smarties. Listen. It's got the Smarties in. This is a original Smarties tube with the lid on. Don't take the lid off, please. Leave it.
Has it ever been opened?
I don't know, but it's... I mean, you can take the lid off if you want to, but really? I don't know.
I just want to see if there's a letter in there.
Can you just not squeeze the tube? Just do your best with the plastic. There's a nice lip.
I've got it. It's coming off really gently.
What letter is it?
It's the letter U.
Oh, it is
it's
me.
It's the letter U.
Thank you.
Why did they put the letters on them? Was it a thing? Collect all the letters in the alphabet.
You just spelt stuff, didn't you? It was good.
See, that's why this is no longer a thing, because this will kill a whale.
Kill a whale, a turtle.
Yeah.
Kill a kid, to be absolutely honest with you. Swallowing a bloody lid. But the letters on the back and the bottom of the lids, if you and a couple of your mates had, F and an A and a T, that was bloody hilarious, wasn't it? You're just spelling stuff. It's just different. But yeah, the blue ones when they came out, I don't know what they tasted of, but the orange ones I think were the only ones that tasted of anything.
I mean, did they all? Did any of them taste any different?
I think the oranges did. Yeah, but look at the difference in the size there with the new one.
Oh, yeah, what I'm very excited about though is the ingredients at the moment.
Go on.
In the old Smarties, milk chocolate, followed by sugar, wheat flour, edible starch, colours. So here we go with your E10, your E194, your E128, your E127, and your flavourings and your glazing agents.
Oh no,
you don't get those.
No,
in these.
No, you probably get some wood essence or something in there.
These I know I dent.
Yeah.
But these would probably still be good to eat because of all the E's in them.
But the size is different, actually. In the piece of chocolate, in the Smartie itself, because I know you popped it open. Compare one to another. We can actually look at it.
We'll have a look. So that's the old one.
Yeah.
Yellow one's
Don't take it out. Just have a little look.
I'm not going to touch it, James. Don't worry. I'm not going to touch it. They're the same size. Actually, no, they're slightly bigger.
What, the new now?
No, the old ones.
So
the old ones are very, very slightly bigger.
Oh, they're all blue in there. I didn't realise that. And they're flatter, aren't they? I did think that they were a bit fatter.
I'm going to give that back to you.
I didn't realise it was all blue Smarties in these.
Yeah, unless they've all risen to the top.
Yeah, that's what happens with blue Smarties. But no, they're slightly flatter. But yeah, a little bit bigger.
A little bit less shiny. Shiny.
Well, mind you, it's 30 years old nearly, so that's probably why. But yeah, so there we go. That's the only chocolate I've got intact of from the 80s, and when that came up on, I think it was eBay or something, I thought I've got to get that. Bloody hell. Let's
pretend your wife's not listening. How much is that of interest?
I think that was about that. I think that was about that price. I think that's exactly what it was meant to be paid for that one. I think I checked and it was correct, so it was exactly as you'd imagine it to be. So I think it was brilliant.
Bear in mind, this is the man who nearly paid £10 for just a wrapper
of a Lion Bar
with nothing inside it. So imagine those genuine Smarties from 1980 something.
I mean, if you think I'm nuts, imagine how stupid my kids are going to feel in 40 years' time when they're selling off this bollocks. Because nobody's going to pay anything for it, because everybody who remembers the 80s will be dead as well. This is the problem. My collection has got a real timeline, and it's coming up quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm buying it at that point where everyone's going, no one wants this crap. And in 5 or 10 years, a lot of people will be nostalgic and thinking, oh, that'll be nice to have. But then 5 or 10 years after that, nobody will be remembering it. So I reckon I got about 10 years to get my collection finished and shifted.
9 years and 6 months now, James. We'll be going to auctions at Number One in Gosport. We'll be a major 80s collection.
Like, who wants this 1983 Connect 4? One torn corner, one piece bitten by a dog. Other than that, it's pristine. Who'll give me £1?
All these Rubik's cubes with all the different colours peeled off.
Yeah, it's I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but it's got to be shifted. Have we got any more adverts?
Nobody's going to want that. We got one more to go.
Okay.
One more to go.
Yeah.
And this is the final one. Here we go.
Covered in Cadbury's smooth milk chocolate. Cracker Crunchy, the champagne bar.
Champagne bar.
What? What?
The champagne bar.
Well, it doesn't mention any honeycomb.
Nothing. Doesn't mention any of that. It's all.
Because it pops like when you break it.
Style over substance, isn't it?
Well, that was nonsense. This is a late 80s. But they changed the font slightly.
Changed the colour.
But I've noticed that on a new Crunchy, they've gone back to the sharp font, like you just showed in the advert there. I always thought that what a disappointment that is. But looking at the original adverts there, or one of the original, because these are obviously a lot older than the 80s, they've gone back, but they went really rounded. And look at that. On this one, 1989 BBC. Sorry, a bit smart. It just went down the wrong way there. Top of the Pops 25th anniversary. You can get a free single cassette or CD.
Or CD.
Yeah.
Wow. 25th anniversary of Top of the Pops. Single cassette CDs. See side for details. Okay.
The irony of me dying on the chocolate episode.
Wouldn't that be? Do you know what, James?
What he would have wanted.
Turns out you have got an allergy after all.
I'm allergic to chocolate. Who would have bloody thought it? I'm going to have a drink again.
All right, now this is interesting. Okay. Would we have the time and effort to do? I don't want to unwrap this now, and I really could do with the font being a bit bigger.
I can have a little look if you want. No, so it's not.
You can. All you got to do is send an artist or song title on a piece of paper of 15 by 10 centimetres to Cadbury TOTP anniversary offer, PO Box, East Molesey in Surrey.
Oh, and what do you get? You get it sent back. That's it.
I think you get it sent back. Yes.
What, a free?
I believe so. Yeah, I think so.
That's brilliant. Is that all you had to do?
As far as I can work out with my eyes, James.
Well, this is back when you get a free gift in a cereal box, and it would actually be a free gift in a cereal box.
Yes.
We'd have to collect tokens, text someone, go on social media, and do something.
And the things in the cereal boxes as well were quite often worth having, weren't they? There was something to occupy you at breakfast time.
Well, talk about slipping into the 80s perfectly. This offer closes, by the way, on the 31st of December 1989. So I think we've missed it by a smidge. Just
a little tiny bit. I didn't want to unfold it anymore, James, because I know it is priceless.
E numbers on there and a honeycombed
centre. But it's not honeycomb, is it?
No.
Honeycombed.
Wow. So that was obviously before Thank Crunchy It's Friday. Do you want to try some?
I'm not going to say no, James. This is, hopefully I'm not allergic to
honeycomb,
to glucose or honeycomb.
You see, I think
hang
Crunchy,
on. Right, change. They've rippled the chocolate here.
So a little bit more rippled.
On that one, there was no ripple at all.
No, it did used to have a bit of a wave to it, but I have to agree with you. I do think Crunchy's got a little bit bigger recently, and I don't know why. They certainly got small, and now they got bigger again.
Looks the same inside.
Have we got a grammage on that? And I'll have a look on this. Hang about. There isn't a grammage on this. That's weird. There must be a grammage on it, surely.
Perhaps it was from the days where you didn't need to do grammage.
Didn't worry about it. Sod it.
I am going to say this is exactly as it was.
I think it's very, very similar. You're right.
Have you had a bite?
I've had plenty of them, mate. Don't you worry about it.
I actually have not had one of these probably since I was at school.
Really?
I can't remember the last time I had a
Since
crunchy.
the 40s. It's amazing.
Obviously, the wrappers were in black and white. When I have. That's really good.
I'm going to be honest.
Best one yet.
Yeah, I got. It's maybe a little bit shorter. I think they used to be a bit longer, but I think it's very similar. Oh yeah, that's it. If you're taking a bite, yeah, I think they're very. And they still got. They some of them have this weird yellow wrapper. Again, I don't know why they do the difference. Just keep it the same. You go in some shops, it's got a yellow wrapper. You go in others, it's got this glistening gold. I did like it when it was a solid gold, like the old 80s wrappers. Yeah. But I agree with you. I think they're very similar size. Hopefully, because we're going to do a couple more episodes of chocolates, aren't we? Because there's plenty to chat about. Hopefully, we'll be able to find some chocolates that have definitely got smaller. Because my memory during these last few episodes has been ruined. Because I'm sure that chocolate have got smaller. None of these have.
That's the same, and the taste not changed.
No. Well, good. Well, lovely.
Hope. There is hope.
Thank Crunchy. Yeah.
Thank Crunchy. It's Tuesday. It's not quite got the same.
No, I don't think anybody's relieved ever that it's Tuesday.
Thing to it. But on that note, seamlessly, we will be back in a week's time with another chocolate edition of the Bring Back the 80s podcast.
Definitely, and I feel like I put on about 100 calories.
I feel I'm going to go into anaphylactic shock any second now.
I'm definitely bloated.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app. And don't forget, there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.